Hello and welcome. I'm Gargi Rawat and you're watching me on youtube.com/NDTV. This is the site to go to for all NDTV's videos, all our shows, all our reports are put up on this site. Now we ask you every day which are the stories that you want to know more about, and in the morning we provide you with the five, pick of the stories in the morning. And so the top story remains Maharashtra, and hopefully by this weekend that story will be over, at least as far as government formation goes. Maybe trouble in the government itself will be a story that will be reporting for many days to come. However, Maharashtra, stable Maharashtra government soon, Congress NCP talks on. So that's the big story that everybody wants to know more about. The other story is government deferring spectrum payments to 2022. So a big relief for all the telecom players who are burdened by this 92,000 crore that they had to pay the government, that had been said by the Supreme Court after they lost that case. BHU protest versus protest now over Muslim professor. Remember, over the last 14 days, there have been a handful, around 30 students of the Sanskrit department who've been protesting against the appointment of a Muslim as an assistant professor in the department. Dr. Feroz Khan, who is actually the most eligible candidate for the job. We've spoken to numerous people who are on the board who've said he was the best qualified for the job position. However, those protests have been going on, but in a welcome turn of events, now other BHU students have come out in support of Professor Khan. So we'll have more on that. Then air pollution remains a big story today in Parliament. In fact, there was the air pollution discussion. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar spoke in the Rajya Sabha on the issue and made various claims about what the government was doing. But you had Congress leaders from Haryana speaking also and talking about how there needs to be a solution to this issue of stubble burning by farmers, by providing them solutions, not by actually criminalizing them or sending them to jail. So that point was raised on this issue. And all in the family brothers rule Sri Lanka. This is after the president asked his own brother Mahinda Rajapakse to come on and become the prime minister. So those are the top stories. So let's talk about Maharashtra first. And it seems NDTV has learned that there could actually be a government in place by the weekend. So let's take you through all the developments that have happened. Now, yesterday, first you had Sharad Pawar meeting with the Prime Minister in Parliament for 40 minutes, ostensibly on the issue of agriculture crisis in Maharashtra. But that is something that apparently worried the Congress and then kind of preempted them and pushed them. And then we saw there was a meeting later that evening, which was anyway on the cards. But of course, that meeting with the Prime Minister gave a new momentum to the NCP Congress meeting that took place later, after which it was announced that they were all on board and they were working out giving a stable government to Maharashtra. Remember, there is the issue of the common minimum program that has to be put in place between the Shiv Sena and the Congress and the NCP. So now it seems there could be a government in place by the weekend. The Shiv Sena also telling NDTV that on Saturday they're going to be sending all the letters of support and seeking an appointment with the governor. So as Sanjay Raut has been saying throughout, we are going to see this government coming into place. Whether it's a stable government or not remains to be seen. Also the question of chief ministership. Now the Shiv Sena has said that for them Uddhav Thackeray will be chief minister. However, they claim that this discussion has not happened about a rotating chief minister, whether there'll be a chief minister from the NCP for half the term and half the term will be Shiv Sena. And they say that it's not something that they're not open to, because remember, that is what they were demanding of the BJP, and it's over that issue that they actually split with the BJP. So for the moment, there are going to be more discussions held. Those discussions will take place today in Mumbai between the Shiv Sena, the NCP and the Congress. So finally, it does seem that government is going to, this very unlikely alliance is going to come together, even though there has been a lot of remember, for the Congress, it's not easy given they're ideologically so different from the Shiv Sena. However, if they have this common minimum program, a charter on what their priorities are going to be, and if they can decide on that, well, that will be the guiding way forward for this alliance in the state. So possibly by the weekend, we're going to see this government in place, and those letters, as Sanjay Raut, who's been the face of the Shiv Sena in this entire negotiations and twists and turns, he's been saying, and Venugopal also of the Congress said that the final decision is going to come tomorrow, and that final contours of how this alliance is going to be formed will possibly emerge tomorrow. So that is one big story. Now, talking about the Benares Hindu University and that entire controversy over a Muslim professor being appointed, and now you have many students actually speaking out for Professor Feroz Khan. However, this news comes even as there is other news that Professor Feroz Khan, who is from Rajasthan, has actually left for his hometown. Remember, NDTV2 has been trying to get in touch with him. However, he's been incommunicado ever since this entire controversy broke out, in which some 30 students from this particular department of Sanskrit at the Benares Hindu University have been protesting, claiming that a non-Hindu cannot be appointed to this job. And of course, everybody calling out their bigotry, though they claim that it's a matter of culture, because in this department, not just teaching the language, but it's also teaching the culture. Now, the board that actually selected Professor Dr. Feroz Khan says he was the most qualified for the job. Out of all the candidates, he's the only one who passed with full marks, whatever the written paper was that they put to these candidates. He's a PhD, somebody who in fact has studied in Rajasthan. His father is also a Sanskrit scholar and somebody who actually sings bhajans in the neighboring temple. So this very unseemly controversy over the appointment of the professor. Even Mayawati has in fact tweeted over this controversy, saying that it is wrong what is happening, and you should that he should be allowed to continue. NDTV's Alok Pandey in fact saying, and these are the students who've been protesting in favor. They are protesting in support of Professor Khan, and they actually want to bring him back, even as the news has come that he has left and gone back to his hometown in Rajasthan. So these students are protesting in support of the professor, and we've learned that today the BHU administration has once again given some sort of a circular to the students, asking them to stop their protest and come back to the classes. So let's wait and see how this story will finally end. As we've been saying, the Benares Hindu University standing by Professor Khan and saying that all the rules have been followed and there's nothing wrong in his appointment, claiming that it's vested interests who are behind this protest that we're seeing on the BHU campus. If we talk about what's happening in Parliament today, you had the Congress actually protesting over the issue of the electoral bonds, which is the big controversy that was the story. These investigative reports that have come out, they were broken by Huffington Post, and since then RTI has revealed that the RBI had some major misgivings about electoral bonds, about how it would be a way of siphoning black money. And today the Congress raising this issue in Parliament as well. In both houses of Parliament it was raised. The other big story that has also broken today is that Pragya Thakur, the BJP's MP from Bhopal, has been included in this panel of MPs for the Defence Ministry. It's a defence panel that has been constituted. Its name, it's actually headed, it's called the Parliamentary Consultative Committee on Defence, and it's actually headed by Rajnath Singh. So you have someone who's a terror accused, Malegaon blast accused, Pragya Thakur, they're being included in this panel. The Congress has hit out over this, saying it's an insult to our defence forces. Well, those are the big stories that we're tracking right now. Thanks so much for watching, and do remember to log on to youtube.com/NDTV and tell us which stories you want to know more about, and also you can write in with your opinions and comments. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.